Welcome. Welcome to One Beer Deep. On this channel, I'm just going to read excerpts from books. To not go that deep into them, just one beer deep. So I think my idea is to read until I finish a beer from the beginning. But to start out, I'm already halfway through this book, so there's one part I thought would be interesting to read. Yeah, so I'll do that as a little bonus grand opening. Man, a bit about me. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and right now I'm chilling in Hanoi, and I just came from Germany. So the beer I'm drinking right now in Hanoi is the best German lager. So it says. No, what is this? The Triple Excellence. Shout out. The best German hops, original French recipe, and distinctive Vietnamese touch. I just went for the cheapest one that was in the store. That was a straight walk, so I didn't get lost. Turns out it's harder to buy beer than you would think, because the prices were in front of the beers, but the beers weren't in front of the right prices. So I brought just a small amount because I just wanted one beer, and it turned out I could get two for $26. And I was like, yeah, sweet. And then they rung me up and it said, no, it said like 40. And I was like, nah, what the hell? So then I was like, no, sorry, not this. Can I show you which one I want? And they were like, you don't want the beer? What are you talking about? I was like, yeah, no. And then they said, yeah, no, it's not that. They looked for another one. They came back, they said, no, sorry. And then I saw a cheaper one. I said, oh, how about this one then? Can you just give me this beer that's of this price? And they said, yeah, none of that. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I'll just get one beer. And I was gonna get a Bavarian one that I'd never had before. And I thought, hey, that's perfect for the channel. I just came here from that area. So how fitting. Sidebar. Since I've been here, there's a brewery that's brewing Vietnamese beers, but in Czech style, like they learned how to brew in Czech. And phenomenal. One of the best beers I've ever had. We can talk about that later. But after all that, it was still more than the price that I had. And I was like, what is happening? So I just showed them the bill that I had. And they said, oh, okay. Don't worry, hold on. I'll just wait. I was like, okay. I was standing there, and then they brought me two of these for the price that I had. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was after. Thank you. So, salud. You get a short reading today because I've already had a few sips of beer. It's way too much to introduce this book now, but I'll probably do a second video on it from the beginning because that's what I hope to do. But it's called Not in His Image, Gnostic Vision, Sacred Ecology, and the Future of Belief by John Lamb Lash. Good book, can't put it down. It's deeper though, it's deeper than one beer. Without further ado, I thought I'd start here, I should say, because it's a popular topic and a really thorough and easy description of that topic. And it's a topic of some speculation and some mystery and intrigue. So, without further ado, this chapter is called Schools for Coevolution. And again, more on that subject later, but this section is called The Illuminati. This is a bit of a history book. So, Prior to this, it introduced the telestai, as like a group of people who had knowledge in the mysteries. If you're familiar with the mysteries, like mystery schools and such. So that's about all I will lead into for here. And yeah, maybe get closer so you can hear me slurp the beer. Let's see. So it goes, the telastai of the mysteries were sophisticated shamans, past masters of archaic techniques of ecstasy. Traditionally, shamans were the intermediaries between the human-made realm of culture and the non-human realm of nature. Their specific calling demanded a schizoid capacity to move between two worlds, keeping the two worlds distinct and effectuate changes between them. Schizophrenics naturally have this mobility, but without a proper spiritual orientation and appropriate training, they are easily undone by it. Successfully managed schizophrenia can result in great works of mythoposes. I'll drink to that word. As seen in writings from Antonin Artaud, Philip K. Dick, and Carlos Castaneda, to cite just 3 male examples. Mystery adepts who are responsible for the cultivation of human potential to its optimal level took great care not to risk schizophrenic damage with their pupils and neophytes. They realized how easy it is to induce and exploit schizophrenic states that can arise spontaneously in the process of initiation. I should stop here and say that the initiates, the people they want to initiate, they do that to, like, we're not talking about the Illuminati in this quite yet. They initiate people just to further their knowledge and connection to the world, to help, again, coevolution, to help humanity progress nicely. So that being said, they don't want to make them schizophrenic. So they realize how easy it is to induce and exploit schizophrenic states that can arise spontaneously in the process of initiation. The requisite lowering or total dissolution of the ego self produces high suggestibility in the subject. Neophytes in the mysteries were prime subjects for imprinting, the process in which predetermined psychic content or program is implanted into the subconscious mind. Interesting stuff, yeah? So, now you see why I drink during this book. Imprinting occurs universally in nature as the means by which instinctual programs are transferred from one generation to another. Ethologist Conrad Lorenz, 1903 to 89, famously imprinted newborn ducks, convincing them that he was their mother. Lorenz coined the term inner release mechanism, whereby organisms are genetically predisposed to respond to certain stimuli. Now, the ideas expressed in this popular book, On Aggression, 1966, were known to initiates through their intimate first-hand observation of psychomimetic activities formulated today in the science of neurolinguistic programming. Yes, this author knows a lot of big words. I don't know if this might take 2 beers. I don't know if I'll read books all like this, maybe some later, maybe I take suggestions. Anyway, once again, salud, welcome to the first. Okay. In short, the psyche can be trained to imitate behavior modeled for it ritualistically, or repeat assigned behavior when exposed to a specific signal. Post-hypnotic suggestion. Such manipulations of the psyche depend on the primary condition for initiation, temporary dissolution of the filter of self-consciousness. Behavioral manipulation, psychological programming, and mind control were utterly repugnant to the genuine telastai of the ancient mysteries. Like I said, such procedures represented to them a path leading away from consecration to Sophia, the god of wisdom, and the great work of co-evolving with nature towards social engineering and personal power games. The goal of the telastai was to foster a sane and balanced society by helping individuals reach their peak potential, and never to interfere directly in social management. Over the course of some time, initiates did take the path of social engineering, however. Dissident members of the Gnostic movement who became known as Illuminati. Ooh, there's that word, yeah. Lost my spot. Yeah. They became known as the Illuminati, chose to use initiatory knowledge to develop and implement various techniques of behavior modification. Originally, the Illuminati were members of the Magian order, an ancient Persian lineage of shamanism from which the Gnostic movement was derived. Historians understand the Magi to have been the priesthood of Zoroaster or Zarathustra. According to the scribal note written on the margin of Alcibiades I, a work attributed to Plato, Zarathustra is said to have been older than Plato by 6,000 years. In her extraordinary and little-known book, Plato Prehistorian, Mary Sedagast situates the rise of the Magian order, the original priesthood of ancient Iranian religion, in the age of the twins, around 5,500 BCE, a date supported by the Greek sources. The age of the twins, or Geminian age, lasted from 6200 to 4300 BCE. The motif of duality associated with the constellation of the twins is consistent with the central theme of Iranian religion, absolute cosmic duality, good versus evil. But this type of duality is not what we find in Gnostic teachings. The problem faced by the Magian predecessors of the Gnostics was the duality of human intention, not the dichotomy of cosmic absolutes. Around 4000 BCE, from the rise of the urban civilization in the Near East, some members of the Magian order chose to apply secrets of initiation to statecraft and social engineering. They became the advisors to the first theocrats of the patriarchal nation-states, but in fact, the advisors were running the show. Their subjects were systematically programmed to believe that they were descended from the gods. The Illuminati inaugurated elaborate rites of empowerment or kingship rituals. These rituals were in fact methods of mind control exercised on the general populace through the collective symbology and mystique of royal authority. Kingship rituals were distinct from the rites of initiation that led to the instruction by the light, capital L, and consecration to the great goddess. Their purpose was not education and enlightenment, but social management. Gnostics refrained from assuming any role in politics because their intention was not to change society, but to produce skilled, well-balanced, enlightened individuals who would create a society good enough that it did not need to be run by external management. The intention of the dissident Magians was to run society by covert controls was based on their assumption that human beings are not innately good enough or gifted enough to create a humane world. This difference in views of human potential was the main factor that precipitated the division of the Magians. Historians recognize a split in the Magian order, but do not understand either its origin or its consequences. Within the order, the Telestai were given the title of Vedemna, seer, wise one, as distinguished from the priest, the Zoatar, who officiated openly in society and advised Middle Eastern theocrats on matters of statecraft and social morality, not to mention agricultural planning. For Zoroaster was by all accounts responsible for the introduction of planned large-scale agriculture. There you have it. It is generally agreed that women discovered by gathering plants how to cultivate them, and men later expanded this discovery into the ancient equivalent of agribusiness. So yeah, it goes way back. So arose the first theocratic city-states in the Fertile Crescent. Civilization may be defined as the way of life that begins by amassing vegetables to increase population and ends with a population of vegetables. That's a sidebar from the author. Urban populations require social control, and the Illuminati assume the role of planners and controllers, more often than not, hidden controllers. In Plato Prehistorian, Mary Settegast explains that at one extreme, Zarathustra has been described as a primitive ecstatic, a kind of shaman, and the other as a worldly familiar of Khwarezmian kings and court politics. The distinction between the shaman seer and the sacerdotal figure engaged in court politics exemplifies the split in the Magian order. In Book 3 of the Republic, Plato disclosed the Illuminati rationale: contrive a noble lie that would in itself carry the conviction of our entire community. The first recorded use of the word nostikos occurs in Plato's Politicus from that date, where the ideal politician is defined as the master of the Gnostic art. From its introduction into the Western intellectual tradition, Gnostikos was wrongly associated with the Illuminati faction, and hence the name came to be disowned by the Telestai, who did not engage in statecraft and social management, using the noble lie rationale. In fact, the Gnostikoi, like Hypatia, mentioned earlier in the book, it's probably why it's good to start in the beginning. Like Hypatia, she was a teacher of the mysteries, would never have used that term to describe themselves. 6 centuries after Plato, it came into use as an insult. The church fathers ridiculed the teachers in the mysteries with the term gnostikos, intended to mean smartass, know-it-all. Among themselves, the initiates would have used the term telestes. Paradoxically, Gnostic comes down to us tainted with the condemnation of the Roman Church and associated with the very members of the Magian order who were disowned by the guardians of the mysteries. Almost finished. I was going to start at part 2, but nah, we did it. Not even one beer deep. The Illuminati program was, and still is, essential to the patriarchy and its cover, perpetrator religion. While it cannot exactly be said that the deviant adepts known as the Illuminati created patriarchy, they certainly controlled it, and still do. The abuse of initiatory knowledge to induce schizophrenic states, entertainment, manipulate multiple personalities in the same person, platforming, and command behavior through post-hypnotic suggestion, like the Manchurian Candidate technique, continues to this day, with truly evil consequences for the entire world. If we accept that the mysteries were schools for Gaian coevolution dedicated to the goddess Sophia, they could not have been run by the Illuminati, as some contemporary writers who believe they are exposing the Illuminati have supposed. So there you have it. I thought I'd bring this up because there's always some confusion about any topic. history, Illuminati, science, the Bible. People still trying to figure out what that means. So yeah, contemporary writers. I don't know. I like this guy's take. I'd have a beer with this guy. That being said, everything the Gnostics did in the schools was intended to counterbalance and correct the machinations of the deviant adepts. Initiation involved melting the ego boundaries in preparation for deep rapport with nature, not lowering of ego consciousness so that the subject could be sectioned and behaviorally programmed using the power of suggestion, imprinting, and other psychodramatic methods. The behavioral modification tool of the Illuminati were strictly forbidden in the mysteries overseen by the Gnostics. So there you go. Just out here to defend the Gnostic and what are they? Pagan, there's a word for that. Their reputation. Maybe these guys were misunderstood. They're not so much around to defend themselves these days. So far as one whole group of people, anyway. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and I'm always happy to share. So I'll start doing some readings, mostly books. I don't have that many books, so I might just start reading everything. I'll read you the back of a milk carton if you want me to. But yeah, any suggestions and anything about this topic, I'd be happy to discuss. About anything I mentioned, pretty happy to talk about it. Ask me about Germany, Vietnam. I can tell you what I know. I'll give you my take on it, or the States, for what it's worth. But yeah, like if you're trying to decide, like you want to travel and you're between Germany and Vietnam, I can help you make that decision. It's pretty, very different couple of places there. So, anywho, ciao for now.